Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो परम ऋषिभ्यो नमो नमः. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. हरि ओम. On this 105th Vedanta Shravana Sadhana Yagna, we are looking into the 13th month at Amrita Bindu Upanishad. Yesterday we saw verse 4 and 5, where the whole process of practice of meditation ends where the mind becomes one-pointed and gets absorbed into the heart space or in consciousness. Tavadeva nirodhavyam yavad hridigatam kshayam. This is jnanam. This is the knowledge that we need to have. This is the knowledge that we are seeking. This is meditation. Everything else is only nyayascha vistaraha. Everything else is a logical explanation of this process, giving a logical understanding to this whole process. So what is it all about? Verse 6 says, how should I meditate? On what should I meditate? How can I realize my own true nature? The Guru says, Naiva chintyam na chachintyam na chintyam chintyameva tat pakshapata vinirmuktam brahma sampadyate tada. Naiva chintyam. You should not think about it. I like this Brahman. I am crazy about this Brahman. I am a great fan of this Brahman. No intense liking. We don't put our intensity through our likes about Brahman and think about it. Naiva chintyam. Why this is being told is, any object that we see, we always think from the perspective of like or dislike. It gives me joy, I like. If it does not give me joy, I dislike. We don't have a neutral perspective at all for most of the things that we think about. So, naiva chintyam, naiva chintyam. You should not think about it with likes. I like Brahman. I want Brahman. I like Brahman because it is already there. You cannot want something which you already have in abundance. Naiva chintyam. At the same time, nacha achintyam. You should not think of it with hatred or dislike also. You should not run away from Brahman. If I want to meditate, if I want to know the truth, then the process is this. Otherwise, we don't need to bother in life about this at all. Nacha achintyam. I do not think about it with likes. When I see this water bottle, wow, I love this water bottle. I love this color. It is my water bottle. We like it. Suppose there is a piece of garbage somewhere. I hate it. I want to throw it away. We dislike it or we hate it. This Brahman is not to be thought of in these two ways, neither with like nor with dislike. At the same time, na chintyam. It should not be thought of an object outside of me. I am there and this is Brahman. I am there and this is Atman. Two different words for the same thing. So not as an object outside, not as a name, not as a form, not as a quality other than me. Na chintyam. But if I cannot think of it as an object or a quality, if I cannot think of it with likes, if I cannot think of it with dislikes, if I cannot think of it with name, form and quality, then there is no such thing to think about. So what does the Acharya tell us here? Chintyam eva tat. The Guru says, but you have to think about it. How should you think about it? Pakshapata vinirmuktam. There is no prejudice. There is no sides in this Brahman. This Brahman is the same in everything. Pakshapata, pakshapatam. Pakshapata means falling on one side, taking sides, not political. There is no political reason about thinking about Brahman. So when you think more about Brahman, then you will not become powerful. It's nothing like that. Pakshapata vinirmuktam. This Brahman is free from sides. This Brahman is free from pakshas, or this faction, that faction, this group, that group, this party, that party. Pakshapata vinirmuktam. Then you will attain the Brahman. Brahma sampadyate tada. At that point of time, Brahman will be realized as our own self. So, this is a verse that can be contemplated upon. Chintyameva tat. How should I think about Brahman? With our Vedanta Mahavakyas. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma. The awareness, the consciousness with which I know a thought, emotion, object, feeling. I know the situation. I know the person. I know the object, person, or situation. That knowledge, that capacity, the ability to know, the power to know is Brahman. The power of that knowing is Brahman. In this way, I think about it. So in this translation and commentary on the Amrita Bindu Upanishad by Swami Tejomananda, which is available in our Chinmaya mission publications, there is an extended note on these verses. You can get a copy of the book to read it up. So even in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 29, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. He says in many verses, I am same in everything. Name dveshyosti na priyam. I don't hate anybody, or I don't love anybody. That is the nature of consciousness. Neither hate nor love, neither like nor dislike, neither in nor out, neither everywhere nor nowhere. So no dualities apply in consciousness. Now, the knowledge is given about what I should think about. I should meditate upon the Brahman, not with any likes, not with any special attachments, or not with complete detachment or hatred. It is beyond attachment and detachment, hatred and love. It is beyond all that. So I just have to sit with a quiet frame of mind without any kind of jostling emotions like love and hatred. All those emotions have got rested. I'm just in the state of awareness and in the state of observation. In that state, I do not contemplate on the Brahman as an object or as a thought in my head. There is no thought, there is no feeling, there is no emotion. If I see something, then that is not Brahman. If I experience something, that is not Brahman. If a thought comes to my mind, that thought is not Brahman. Whatever it is that comes to my mind, I say not this, not this, not this. Na iti, na iti, na iti. Neti, neti, neti. And in that quiet state, the breath is just going in and coming out. You can observe the breath for a short while. It quietens the mind. And as the breath goes in and comes out, you can hold on to the Vedanta Mahavakyas for support and meditate upon that thought. So meditating upon the Vedanta Vakya is not like meditating upon any other thought. There is no movement in this Vedanta Vakya. There is no quality. There is no name. There is no form. There is no quality. Once you meditate upon this, then that thought also disappears. Ramana Maharishi used to call it like the stick which is used, the wooden stick which is used by the person who's burning the dead body. He uses the stick to put in all the bones and everything that comes out to throw it back inside. And then finally, as the body is burning well, he puts the stick also inside and it burns together in that fire. So, in the same way, this Akhandakara Vritti or this Brahmakara Vritti of Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Mahavakyas, we can use it for meditation. And once we are in that state of meditation, the thought goes on its own. We don't need to give any effort to remove it, or it is not going to cause us any disturbance because of its presence. So what is this verse spoke about the philosophy behind what we should meditate about. Before we sit in meditation, we should be very clear on what we need to meditate. And so that is what we need to meditate on and how we need to think about it. And these thoughts are all cleared before we sit into meditation. And how to prepare myself for meditation. Meditation on the self is the most subtle, and we need preparation. Like when we are addressing somebody who's very subtle in that nature, we cannot go with our own normal way of behavior, the normal way of talking. We need to take a step back. We need to organize ourselves. We need to surrender to the moment. We need to plan and prepare what we need to talk in front of that person. We cannot just talk anything and everything that we please. It will spoil the situation. In the same way, meditation on the infinite truth, we need to prepare the body, the mind, and the intellect on what we should meditate and prepare the surroundings and circumstances. So this mantra, this verse of the Upanishad talks about how we can prepare the basic environment and make it conducive for meditation. Swarena sandhayet yogam aswaram bhavayet param aswarena anubhavena bhavo va abhava ishyate. Swarena, with the help of sound. Sandhayet yogam. The yoga should be established with swara. With swara means, swara has got many meanings in Sanskrit. Swara means breath. Swara also means pranayama. Swara yoga is meditating on the breath. Swara also means the vowels in the English, in the Sanskrit language. E. They are called swaras. And swaras are also the notes of music. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, and sa, pa, sa, they form the basic swaras or the basic notes on the tampura. On the tampura, when it is played, pa, sa, sa, pa, pa, sa, sa, pa, sa, sa, pa, sa, 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 pa, sa, pa, sa, on the tampura. And whenever you see on a concert, whether it's a Hindustani concert or a Carnatic music concert, the person will be sitting behind the tampura. These days you have electronic tampuras, so you cannot really have a person sitting there. Such a beautiful, like the ones we have behind. Beautiful tampura will be there, very decorated tampuras. And the music is a very resonating one. It has got only one note or a group of notes which are very strong, to which the singer has to land. The singer has to be very aware or very conscious of that adhara shruti, or the bass note that's being played on tampura. This will help him not to go off key. This will help him to go landing up and down on the scale of swaras and yet land perfectly, land correctly, where he is always in tune and always harmonious with the raga. So for example, Maya Malava Gauda raga is a basic raga that everybody practices. Sari ga ma pa da ni sa ni ra pa ma ga re sa. The swaras, the sapta swaras of Maya Mala Gauda raga. And if the person who's singing a song in Maya Malava Gauda raga, for example, Maya Tita Swarupini Nannu Provave Maya Tita Swarupini Nannu Provave Mahatripura Sundari Shankari Maya Tita Swarupini Maya Malava Gaula Deshamuna. Raga is called a desha, a place. So in this Maya Malava Gauda raga, we are singing with the swaras Sari ga ma pa da ni sa Sari da pa ma ga re sa. It is in this road that we are traveling. These are all the destination points on that road. If we should not go off key, if we should not lose the track, if we don't want to go out of track, we always have to be listening to the Shruti while singing. So that is the Shruti here is that Brahman. Brahman is always that Adhara Shruti, that Swara, the note which is there all around us. And that is in the form of the mantra Om. Om. And then there is silence at the end of it. Any sound you take, when it becomes a massive note of sound, it can be an air conditioner, it can be a train, It can be an engine revving and then coming down. It can be a bus that is starting and taking off. It can be an aeroplane. Any sound that you take, if you cut that sound into bits, the last bit of that sound will be Om. And that is why Om has a very important place in our Sanatana Dharma. Everywhere you see the form of Om that is written in metal or in stone or in rock, wherever it is, in mountains, it's carved sometimes. This Om is a very good symbol for us to remember at all times. Swarena Sandhayed Yogam. Yoga has got many meanings. Yuj Samadhau. Yoga also means samadhi, or absorbing myself in my own self, in my true self. Samadhi. Yujir Yoge. Yoga also means joining with something. So, here, Swarena Sandhayet. With the help of Swara, the union must be established. Union of what? The union of my awareness with that Swara, with that note. Sandhayet Yogam. After establishing that yoga with the Swara, then what should I do? Aswaram Bhavayet Param. Param Aswaram. Param means that supreme self which has no swara, which has got no movement, no sound. Aswaram bhavayet. That should be meditate upon. I should enter into that bhava or into that state of silence between two notes. A note is there, an Om is there, then there is silence. Then there is another Om, and then there is silence, and then there is another Om. I keep meditating, I keep paying my attention to that silence. I allow my consciousness to embrace that silence between the sounds of Om. Aswaram bhavayet param. Aswarena anubhavena. When I am constantly meditating on the silence between sounds of Om, bhavahava abhava ishyate. Bhava means existence. Existence is this feeling that I am existing, this feeling that I am an individual, I am a body, I am a mind, I am an intellect, I am existing in this world. This is bhava. Abhava, this existence just disappears, meaning the thought of the world, the awareness of the world, the consciousness about the world disappears because we remove our focus completely from that and we focus on the silence between the sound of Om, between the swara of Om, between the note of Om. So swara is that note, Om is that sound. This Om has been spoken of in many places. Om is made up of 3 matras, says the Mandukya Upanishad. It is A symbolizes creation, U symbolizes preservation, Ma symbolizes destruction, and then there is silence, amatra. And this A and U in Sanskrit, when it is brought together, it becomes O. So this Om iti Brahma. This Taittiriya Upanishad says Om is Brahma. Om is the creator. And the Patanjali Yoga Sutra says Om is the name of Ishvara. Tasya vachakah pranavaha. You want to call Ishvara. You want to call somebody. Maybe you're calling me on the phone. Is this Brahmacharini, Sharanya, Chaitanya? Somebody asks. And I say, yes, I am that person. I reply. In the same way, if you want to talk to Ishvara, if you want to talk to God, you just say Om. And God replies, yes, did you call me? Om. Pranavaha. Tasya vachakaha Pranavaha. That is the name by which you, whenever somebody is sleeping or lying down, or somebody is not looking this side, and you want to turn that person's attention, you call that person's name. And then the person turns around and says, "Did you call me?" They say. In the same way, it is not that God is not paying attention to us. God is paying attention to everybody all the time. But if you really want to know that God is paying attention to you, you use the word Om. You chant the word Om, and God asks, "Yes, did you call me?" Om represents the ultimate goal we need to reach in life. Sarve Veda Yat Padamamananti Tapamsi Sarvani Cha Yad Vadanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyanta Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Ityetat. Om is that Om is that sound. Sarve Veda Yat Padam Amananti. All the Vedas, they point out to something. They point out to Om. Tapamsi Sarvani Cha Yat Vadanti. The people who are observing tapas, what do they chant? Tapas means tapas shodhane, tapas tapa alochane, tapaha klesha, like constricting the body, heating up the body, churning the body to achieve something, to make it one-pointed, tapasya. So people who do tapasya also, they chant the word Om. They do it towards Om. Yad icchantaha, desiring which people take up brahmacharya, withdrawing from all the sense pleasures, pleasures of all the 10 sense organs. Yad icchantaha brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena bravimi. That padam I will teach you, Nachiketa, says Lord Yama in Kathopanishad, how sangrahena, very crisply I will tell Om. Om iti etata. Therefore, Om is the means and Om is also the goal. The goal is Om, the means is Om. Om is a letter, it is a visual support. You, as a letter, you can take Om as a visual support for our meditation. As an audio support, you can chant the word Om, and the sound of Om can be a support for us in meditation. Etad alambanam sreshtam, etad alambanam param, etad alambanam nyatva, Brahma sampadhyate. So this is the greatest support we can take. Like a creeper that is climbing, that wants to climb, it needs a pole to support. In the same way, when we want to climb on the path of realization of the truth, we can take the support of Om, the mantra Om. So what is this meditation on Om? When we sit quietly, with eyes closed, making a firm decision, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or even 3 minutes, taking a firm sankalpa that within this time, whatever happens, I will not move my body. It is very important. And then inhaling deeply and exhaling with Om 3 times. Om. Inhaling. Om. Inhaling. Om. And remembering Ishvara, our Ishtadevata, Kuladevata, whatever God we love to worship. Remembering our Guru, our teacher. We sit quietly in meditation, and with every inhalation, taking in the breath and exhaling with an Om. In the beginning, it can be with a little sound. Om. Om. As we are meditating, taking a deep breath, taking the attention to the point where the sound begins. To the point where the sound exits with the breath, to the point where there is silence. In different forms of chanting Om, we can meditate like this. Tyagaraja Swami also very beautifully in that ragam Shobhillu Saptaswara, very in that song. Nabhi Hrit Kantarasana Nasadul Yanto Shobhillu Saptaswara. Shobhillu Saptaswara, the Saptaswaras. In music schools, they may do it as Akara Sadhakam, which is mainly to practice their music lessons. But people who are great musicians also use the swaras for meditation. The only it helps us to work actively in this world. It gives us all the blessings of this world. Whenever we chant the of Om, these are all different swaras. When we chant the the world will bless us with plenty. These days we see so many videos on the law of attraction. There is no greater law of attraction than chanting this Akara Sadhana for whatever we want to achieve in this world. So whatever we want, wherever we go, whatever we need, we will be able to get it. Whatever we want to achieve, the path will be clear. The obstacles will be removed with this Akara Sadhana. The creative power, our creative power will increase because we will learn to create very well. The power of U is the power of preservation. So whenever you want to preserve something, preserve your health, the sadhana is when you want to shut down shop at night, when you've gone through the day and you really want to quietly merge into that supreme truth in the state of sleep, then the last and final sadhana for the day can be With these three sadhanas, you get some benefit. At the end of the Om, there is a silence. Om. When we merge into that silence, that is what this mantra is talking about. Svarena sandhayet yogam aswaram bhavayet param aswarenanubhavena bhavo va bhavayishyate. Our thought is taken out of the bhava or existence. There is no duality. There is no I and the other. There is no me and the world. There is no me and the body. There's no me and the mind. There's no me and the intellect. I alone am in that state of meditation on Om. Just like in the state of deep sleep, I don't know my name. I don't know I'm a man or woman. I don't know my designation in society. I don't know if I'm the daughter, sister, father, mother, brother, or anybody, any relationship, husband or wife. Nothing I know. I just know that too, I do not know anything during the sleep. When I wake up, I know that I slept well and I know that I did not know anything. These are the two types of knowledge that we have in sleep. In the same way, while meditating on Om, there is only the knowledge of joy, the experience of joy that we have meditating on Om right away. In sleep, the experience of joy happens only on waking up. We slept joyfully, we slept in joy, but we did not realize that in sleep. We did not know that because we have fallen into sleep. We are not sleeping in awareness, we are not resting in awareness, we have fallen into sleep, so we don't know. But while meditating, we are in awareness, we are present in that joy, and we experience that straight away. तदेव निष्कलं ब्रह्म निर्विकल्पं निरञ्जनं तद् ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते ध्रुवम्. So everything is so simple now. After quietening the mind, after making the mind one-pointed, after dropping the mind into the heart space, mano hridi gritam kshayam, then swarena sandayet. You focus your attention on the swara, on that prana. The prana mantra is Om. You focus your attention on that. When you focus your attention on the Om, what happens? Bhava will become abhava. Bhava means this existence, this world. I will be able to withdraw. Withdrawing attention is only vairagya. Vairagya is giving up. Withdrawing attention is uparati. First, when we need to do something, we need to withdraw from everything else that we don't want. When we want to focus on something, we have to take away our attention from other things. So then, when we take away our attention from other things and we chant this Om, what is the nature of this truth? There is a silence into which that Om falls. What is that reality which is realized when the world disappears? So when the world disappears, we realize something. What is that? Tadeva nishkalam brahma. Tat eva, that alone is a partless Brahman. In that silence, in the experience of the silence, what is there? There is Brahman, which is partless. There is no separation, there is no division, there is no duality, there is no difference to it. Brahma, Brihatvat iti Brahma, Bharanatvat iti Brahma. That which is very, very big means you cannot see it like something big. You say a big mountain, big ocean, big picture, big sky, big country. Here there is just big. The quality of big, that is Brahman. What gives bigness to a mountain? The greatness to the sky, greatness to the country, greatness to a land is that Brahman, which is big. Brahman, nirvikalpam. There are no differences. Vikalpa means choice. You enter into a departmental store. You have so many objects placed in the departmental store. If you want to buy one thing, there are multiple choices there. There is no choice in that Brahman. There is only one. You take one thing of that and you bring it home. After you bring it home and you make it your own, you don't have any other choice with that object. In the same way, this Brahman, there is no vikalpa. There are no thoughts. Every choice means every choice has a thought to it. There are no thoughts in Brahman. Vikalpa also means thoughts. Kalpana is imagination, thoughts. Nirvikalpam, free of any differences. Niranjanam, this Brahman is taintless. At one point of time, a person who has merged in Brahman cannot do any action which is taintful, because Brahman is of the nature of being taintless. Niranjanam, they say. Anjana means black. Anjana means kajal. Niranjana means there is no taint in it, there is no spot in it, there is no stain in it, there is no corruption in it, there is no movement in it, there is nothing else in it except that, except it alone. Niranjanam. Tat Brahma. So, all the qualities we like to listen sometimes when we get to hear that person is so rich, that person is so knowledgeable, that person has got such a great quality, and then immediately the thought, okay, so what for me? We will think. Here, we talk about Brahman, we praise that Brahman, Nirvikalpam, Niranjanam, what else? Nishkalam, no parts, no stain, no taint, no difference, no vikalpam, no thoughts, no differences, no duality. That Brahman is non-dual, it has got no parts, it is that simply that beauty alone, it is simply marvelous, there are no thoughts in Brahman. We say all that. You need not ask, so what for me? That Brahman is you. Tat Brahma aham iti jnatva. Knowing that that Brahman is I, Brahma sampadhyate dhruvam. When I know that I am Brahman, I attain that Brahman. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. The one who knows Brahman attains that Brahman. Here it is the Phalashruti. If I do this, what happens? We always want to know, if I do this work for you, what will you give me? If I chant this Om and I meditate on that silence, what will happen to me? I know the Brahman and I know the Brahman as myself. I remain as that Brahman. Brahma sampadhyate dhruvam. So when I know that reality is me, what happens? All my thoughts vanish, all my worries vanish, all my sorrows vanish, because I know that I am that supreme Brahman, that supreme truth, which can never swerve away from bliss, which can never move away from knowledge, which can never move away from existence. I am always existing, I always have knowledge, I am always blissful. I am that Brahman at all points of time, whether I know it or not. If I know it, I can really enjoy it. Like if one person has got crores of wealth in his account and he has been brought up by somebody else, he does not really know that he owns so much of wealth. He will be living like a poor man. But if that person comes to know that he is the owner of so much wealth, then his whole life will change. The experience of his life will completely change when he knows he is the owner of all that wealth. In the same way, the experience of our life will change when I know that I am the owner. I am not the owner, I am that which is Brahman, the supreme truth in this whole universe, which is the cause of all existence, of all objects, forms and beings, thoughts, situations, everything. I am that. And when I realize that, there is nothing I need to worry about. There is nothing that I need to contemplate about. There is nothing I need to plan. There is nothing I need to manipulate in this world. I don't have to do a thing. I just have to know that I am that and I become that. It is easy to know, but it doesn't stop there. Knowledge and liberation happens because we don't stay in that knowledge all the time. We engage in the world, our knowledge is not firm. And so, until that knowledge becomes firm, we have to be abiding in that knowledge. Otherwise, when that knowledge leaves us, then we will not know. When we stand in front of the mirror, we know we are this form. And when we leave the mirror, we don't really think about ourselves that much and we don't know how we look. But if we make the whole world into a mirror, then wherever we go, we can see ourselves at all times. So that is the process of this meditation, making the whole world, all objects, persons, and situations, experiencing the presence of the mirror called truth in everything is this meditation. So tomorrow we will see verse 9 and 10. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Har Namah Parvati Pataye. Har Har Mahadeva. Hari Om.